Nice to hear from Russ. Nick, has James Harden become underrated?
Absolutely. And Russ's comments were spot on. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Oh, anyone, if they took that number of shots and got that number of free throws, could do. Okay, then someone should go out and do it. They really should, because for James Harden, what it's led to is a league MVP, 3 runner-up finishes. If you add the Adidas money, right around his current contract, press contracts, Adidas money, $500 million in career earnings, and a scoring profile that is going to be matched in NBA history only by Wilt Chamberlain. That is the rarefied air in which he is breathing right now. Harden's he's had a slow start to the season. I think he had 29 and 19 first 2 games. Since then, here's all he's done. 40, 59, 36, 29, 44, 36, 42, 39, 47, 44, 49, and last night a slow night. 36 points per game. And by the way, the Rockets have the 2nd best record in the Western Conference. And by the way, we didn't include assists because it'd be too much numbers. He's top 10 in the NBA in assists and top 5 in true shooting percentage. So he's doing it efficiently. Greg, we've never seen a perimeter player score at this volume in the history of the league. And the only player we've seen score at this volume in the history of the league at any position is a guy who they had to rewrite the record books for, Wilt Chamberlain. And here's why I think he's become underrated. He could average 40 a game this year. And no one, I'm not hearing anyone discuss him as the best player in basketball. People say LeBron still, Giannis. Some folks were erroneously saying Kawhi. Last week, I had a big argument. Is Harden better than Kawhi? It was considered a hot take that Harden's better than Kawhi. Harden been doing this for half a decade. Last year averaged 36. This year looks like he's going to do it again and then some. That, to me, is the definition of an underrated player.
I wouldn't go as far as saying he's been underrated or he is underrated. He's definitely being underappreciated. And if you listen to what Russell Westbrook is saying, we become so enamored with what is his norm. And so James Harden's norm is now averaging almost 40 points a game, putting up 40 points a night. And so the kicker is, if guys in this league could do it, which other guys could do it, but would it equate to winning? And this is what's beneficial for the Houston Rockets, that James Harden produces numbers like this so that his team can win. And I don't think viewers or fans really understand that aspect of things. He's not only doing it because he has to, he's doing it because this is being what's asked of him so that his team could have success and be in contention in the latter parts of the season. So I love what James Harden has done. I think it becomes underappreciated because we start to see it night in and night out, the same way Russell Westbrook has been averaging a triple-double for the last 3 years. Exactly. We get numb to it, and it becomes the norm, and it's like, he did that last night.
But does it take too much out of him when you get to the end of the season? Last year we asked all season, is this sustainable? It turns out it was sustainable for him. Remember, he went on that insane stretch. It seems like he's doing it now, and I know he has Russ next to him. But doesn't this take away from whatever he has left in the postseason when he does this every night?
It might. And last year, obviously, the end of their season was an enormous disappointment to everyone involved in the organization. But last season, if he hadn't done it, they were 14th in the Western Conference, 5th of the way through the year. If he hadn't done it, they wouldn't have gotten to the end of the season. James Harden is doing it because it is what his team requires to be in the position they need to be in at the end of the postseason. Now, the ultimate knock on Harden is, well, you can't win playing this style of basketball. They haven't won a championship playing this style of basketball, but I would like to remind the audience, the first 2 years Kevin Durant was in Golden State, before year 3 when they were decimated by injury, they beat everyone they played in 5 games or less in the playoffs. Not only were the Rockets up 3-2 against them because of Harden before Chris Paul went down with the hamstring injury, in Game 7, they were up 15 points. And at that moment, overwhelming favorites to win the NBA title, and then they missed 27 straight threes. Those were not all Harden. That's just unbelievable bad shooting luck. That's the only reason they haven't won a title this way. It's the only reason. They would have, with respect to LeBron, that was LeBron and the four-piece-of-paper Cavs team. They were not going to be able to handle those Rockets. So, yes, you can win a title like this. They just haven't won a title like this. And, Greg, if they do win a title at any point with Harden, then he all of a sudden starts to be discussed like Wilt Chamberlain, like one of the 20 greatest players of all time who maybe didn't win as much as people thought he would, but got the ring to go along with the unimpeachable regular season statistical resume.
Jenna, you say, is this sustainable in the playoffs? And the reason why I think that it is because when you've trained to do something and you are now doing it over the course of a season, you have built up your body to endure what he's taking on. Another note, he takes the most free throws in all of the National Basketball Association, which affords him the opportunity to rest.
And he shoots it.
And he shoots it at a high percentage. He's knocked down in 13 odd games, 68 three-point shots. His ability to not only get to the rack, but also rely and take that pressure off his body, that physical toll off his body, because of his ability to shoot the long jump shot, is paramount to why he's going to be able to sustain this level of ability.
Look, it's okay with Russ now. Let's see if Russ is totally fine with it and singing the same song in a couple months. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.